What's goes happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another great edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. Today, we're going to be talking about again two of the worst teams in the NFL, and they
Hey,
keep.
well, whoa.
Uh,
We're not one of the worst teams in the NFL. We're far. We're like way in the middle right there. We're dead like average. We're
all
definitely
right,
not. We're
all
not
right,
even the
okay,
top 10.
okay. That's a good point. Let me rephrase it. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most average teams in the NFL and one of the worst teams in the NFL,
That's more
and
like it.
they continue to disappoint us and rip our hearts apart and decide to win games that they shouldn't win. What are they? All right, what are they? So Caleb, all right, man, you know what? Why can't the season be over already? Why
Because
do they have to play one more game?
they keep adding more games.
They need to stop. You know what they need to do, Caleb? They need to go back to 14 games.
14.
They need to go back to 14 games. Okay, that's what they need to go back to. Back. I don't have to sit through 17 or 18 weeks of this shit. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
go back.
it's really only for like certain teams that you're waiting to make the playoffs, and that's
Yeah,
only just a few. Because the if your team is really good, you don't care about this week. If your team is really bad, you don't really care about this week. It's only like the teams like right there in the middle that are of that.
no. I have to care about this week. You know why? Because if we win, we go from third to ninth in
Oh,
the
well,
draft order.
should definitely win then.
No, I should definitely shouldn't win because I know we had that discussion where
I
talking
mean,
about like,
Drew
oh,
Lock says that y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve a win. So
Drew Lock needs to shut the hell up. That's what Drew Lock needs to do. You know what I mean? Like I don't get this man had what man, let me look at the stats, bro. This shit was unbelievable, bro.
I
This shit
mean,
was unbelievable, man. This man didn't do nothing. Nothing. And then he decides, hold up. He decides to throw for 4 touchdowns and run for a touchdown.
a
He
great
had
game.
5 touchdowns. Like,
Should have started him the whole season.
everyone needs to be fired. I want everyone fired. I want everyone fired for a multitude of reasons. They should have drafted a quarterback last year. Um, I like
And
Malik
this year,
Neighbors. Well, they're gonna have to this year. They have to this year.
well,
Last year they
they
last year
should
they
have
should have
been.
had a quarterback.
Yeah.
Love Malik Neighbors, great player, but bad pick. You needed a quarterback. And then on Sunday night, when the Commanders and the Falcons were dueling it out, you could have had one of these guys. You
Yeah.
could have had Michael Penix. Jaden Daniels wasn't gonna be you weren't gonna draft him because you were they were set. You're not they weren't gonna trade with you. Like the Commanders weren't gonna trade with you, and the Bears weren't gonna trade with you. You could have gotten the third pick, but you wanted to like, oh, we gave them an offer. We gave the Patriots an offer and they didn't want it. No, you didn't. You didn't try.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean, if they were
sorry.
willing to listen, that means they were willing to. If you gave them enough, that they could
Mm-hmm.
have moved off of it.
They showed you remember in Hard Knocks, Caleb, when we watched Hard Knocks, they show you that little clip where he calls the Patriots GM and says, "This is what I'm offering." That clip was for basically to Giants fans. See, like, hey, see, Giants fans, I did my job. No, you didn't do your job.
But
We're
yeah,
not stupid.
yeah. But the fact that they even took the call, because like you said, Washington wouldn't have
They
taken that
weren't.
call.
They were. No, bye, bye.
Yeah. But the fact that the Patriots did take the call, that means they were willing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
give me what I want, and you can have it.
Exactly. So he's not even doing his job right. Right. This is what I'm saying. Like he's a bad roster builder. You drafted Daniel Bellinger, who was one of your best offensive players his rookie year. You then trade for a tight end who doesn't pan out. You make Daniel Bellinger an H-back, and then you don't play Daniel Bellinger. And you're not going to tell me Theo Johnson's better than Daniel Bellinger. You're not going to tell me that. You know? So you mess up that pick. You know, it's just complete and utter stupidity, dude. Either everyone needs to be fired, everyone needs to be let go. Everyone should be gone, in my opinion. You know? Get him out of here. Like, get him out of there, bro. Just fire everybody. Fire them all. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done. And now I saw a Giants fan. Shout out to my boy Sal. I trust his opinion on stuff. He wants to draft Donald Fannin Jr., the tight end out of Bowling Green, who had a great year, by the way, a phenomenal year. He's a baller. So draft him again, but I don't trust Joe Shane to draft him. I don't trust any of this. If Shador Sanders or Cam Ward came out of the draft last year, Caleb, they're QB 3 or 4 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But you're okay with drafting them this year because now they're QB 1 and 2. But you weren't okay with drafting J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr. because they were QB 3 or 4 or 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Just because a player is the 4th player at that position group doesn't mean they're not better than all the other positions. What if the top 5 picks, let's hypothetical situation, Caleb. 1 year, the top 5 QB list, like the QB ranking is like blah, blah, blah. But the top 5 QBs are the 5 best players in the draft. And let's just say all the first 5 picks needed quarterbacks. You think they're going to be like, oh, no, I'm not going to draft the 5th best quarterback at pick 5 because he's the 5th best quarterback, but he's the 5th best player in the draft. So the man just lied to himself the entire time. He lied to himself. He fumbled. He's a bad GM.
Yes.
He's a bad GM. He needs to be fired. You've already gotten if one of them needs to be fired, it needs to be Brian Daboll. No, they both need to be fired. You cannot keep. They're a package deal. You hired Joe
because chances are you guys aren't going to be very good next year.
No,
if you guys aren't good, then even if you do keep Daboll, then he's going to get fired the year after. So what's even the point?
What's even the point, bro? What's even the point? Like, for real. Like, you got to be kidding me, man. You seriously got to be kidding me because you hired Joe and he brought the OC from the Bills, Brian Daboll. They're a package deal. And then you have Brian having to coach the players he got for him. The year that they were good, most of the players were David Gettleman's players. So you had an easy schedule, and you're high on your own supply, and you messed up the rebuild, and he messed it up. That's the epitome of what bad GM is. You had a plan and you messed it up because you thought you were better than you were, but you never did. But now you're trying to rectify it, but it's too late. You fucked up. Pardon my French. You messed up. He needs to be fired. Everyone needs to be fired. Black Monday. Him and Brian Daboll need to be gone. They should be the first people fired.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's just not gonna happen. Either Joe stays, or they both come back for the next year. That's what's gonna happen.
Continue to suck.
Huh?
You guys gonna continue to suck, and I'm gonna be laughing at you.
Yeah, exactly, man. But your team sucks too. So what can you
laugh about? Our guys gonna get healthy. I'm gonna be back next year.
Sure, you say that every year.
We'll be winning games.
And then you do nothing.
Maybe. Depends who our coach is.
Whatever, man. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about this game. What they scored 45 points on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts suck.
The best game of the year of the Giants.
Don't care. I don't care.
It's a great
we
game.
Did this.
It was competitive. It went down to the wire. It was back and forth. I mean,
I don't care.
There's a lot to talk about there.
No, there isn't, because it doesn't matter. Malik Neighbors had a great game. He had multiple touchdown catches. Most of them were
the Colts out of the playoffs. I mean, lots have happened.
Whatever, man. I don't care.
Did we kill Flacco?
Okay. Who gives a shit?
So it's a good game.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a good game. Colts are garbage. They're garbage, bro. Malik Neighbors had a great game, 7 catches, 171, 2 touchdowns. Both touchdowns were off of screens. It was a great day for him. Played phenomenally. But it sets the organization back. So whatever. I don't care. Caleb, the Cowboys lost to the Eagles. Break it down. Who gives a shit?
Well, there's not much to break down. I mean, after the first quarter, it was complete goddamn disaster. But going into it, you saw CeeDee Lamb was going to be out for the last 2 games of the year with the shoulder injury, and once that happened, you kind of thought that they're packing it in and it's ready to end this season now. And obviously they didn't have much to play for. They kind of got it all out in the Buccaneers game, and I just don't think they really got themselves ready to go for this game against the Eagles, because they didn't play like it. Obviously, Cooper Rush is out there playing with nobody at receiver. Brandon Cooks is the number 1 guy, and it that just bad set of weapons there. It was already bad with CD, and without CD, there's just nothing there. And then when I saw Andrew Booth starting that corner, I knew this game was we were in some big trouble there, because Andrew Booth is probably the worst corner I've ever seen play football. He is terrible at covering, and you saw that. And like anytime he started for us this season, he's been awful. And you saw him just get torched over and over by A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So that was really bad. And they just ran it up. I mean, you would think playing Kenny Pickett, and then Kenny Pickett goes out, and then Tanner McKee comes in. You thought maybe we can compete a little bit.
Nope.
We could make the score a little closer than it was. But we even got our ass kicked by Tanner McKee. Like, that's just complete embarrassing on defense. Not a good showing for us. And again, they stonewall Michael Parsons, and they just know how to play him. They just know how to make him ineffective, as they did in this game, because we got no pressure on the quarterback at all, and that's why they were able to have time.
Pretty easy. Like, no offense to Michael Parsons. No offense. You just need big offensive linemen who can move their feet. That's how you stop Michael Parsons. Big offensive linemen who can move their feet. And for the past 2 years, Caleb, what have we been saying? Who has the best offensive line in football?
Yeah, Eagles have
Philadelphia Eagles. That's I like them. This year, Caleb, this offseason, 2 of their legends retired. Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey retired. They replaced them with Cam Jurgens and Jalen Carter. And guess what? This year, they're both Pro Bowlers. Howie Roseman. We're talking about one of the best GMs in the game. I hate him.
Yeah.
He sees a problem, he addresses it. He messes up, he fixes it. He doesn't draft Justin Jefferson. He drafts Jalen Reagor. People are mad. Guess what? I'm going to go trade for A.J. Brown. Boom. Oh, we need a better running back. Oh, let me go get Saquon. I drafted another wide receiver 1 in Devontae Smith. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to draft the best wide receiver in that draft, so that's what I did. Oh, let me go draft Dallas Goedert and get a nice, good backup in Grant Calcaterra. Oh, offensive line? I'm going to replace a future Hall of Famer with a dude named Cam Jurgens. Like, bruh, Tanner McKee, Caleb, had 3 pass attempts. 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah.
2 of them were touchdowns. Saquon Barkley.
He had all the time in the world to throw the ball. So I mean,
yeah, man.
I mean, a lot. Any of these guys, like the worst quarterbacks in the league. I mean, if you give them time, they can find a receiver out there, especially the ones that are talented as Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So they're pretty easy to find. And that just shows you. I mean, really, if you put any quarterback with the Eagles, I mean, they're probably gonna do well. And I kind of that's why. That's why I think Jalen Hurts is not that good.
No, yeah, I think he's fine. I don't think he's great. I think he's fine. I've never thought he was great. I just thought he's always fine. They're a great team. Like, they're a great team. But yeah, He was never nothing special to me. He's it's whatever, my opinion. But yeah, man, it's like, you know, if you think about it, it's gonna be them or the Lions in the Super Bowl. But I think the
I
Lions.
don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be the Eagles at all.
I don't think it's gonna be the Lions. You know why?
That's why it's
People.
gonna be Sam Darnold in the Minnesota
Oh, the
Vikings.
Vikings. Probably. You know why? Because people are not talking about, dude. The Lions. They're ravaged by injuries. Like, they have too many. Like, beyond. They lost so many starters to injuries. It's insane that people are not talking about it. I don't think they're gonna make it to the. I don't think they're gonna make it there. You know what? Shoot. Vikings Chiefs.
Yeah,
Vikings Chiefs. And
probably.
I'm going Chiefs because nobody in the AFC have beaten them. And they have some voodoo over Baltimore and Buffalo
Yeah.
somehow, some
I mean,
way.
they just win. They just find out ways to win. They
Yeah,
have
they just
Patrick
win.
Mahomes. I mean,
Yo, can we
they have Andy Reid. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna happen.
That's Andy Reid. I hate that man. I hate him so much, bro. Like, Kev, does it irritate you that the national media, now they're all like lovey-dovey to Andy Reid and like how much they love him, and they all like, and I'm like, man, screw Andy Reid, man. Screw him. Like, God, I hate that guy. I hate him so much. I hate the guy. I do, man. I'm sorry. I still remember him in the Eagles gear.
Yeah.
People be like, "Oh, look at Big Red." He ain't Big Red to me. He's Big Green or Big. Or he wore that black polo. It was the black polo. He'd be always wearing that black polo, and it's like, man, I hate you and your mustache. I don't like you. I don't like you. Never have, never will. I enjoyed when he kept choking in the NFC Championship game, and and he lost. Like, I enjoyed that. And, I don't like him. I'm a slander that man every time I get. I don't care. I don't even care that he's a Hall of Fame head coach. I'm a slander him. I'm a find a way to. I slander Bill Cowher. I'm a slander some way to Andy Reid. You know what I mean? I hate God, man. God, I hate Brett Veach. That GM is really good at his job. He found Patrick Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, since I don't think the Eagles gonna win the Super Bowl, I think they should have just let Saquon Barkley go for the record.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna win.
Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that. Like, do you have a problem with Eric Dickerson? I had no problem with Eric Dickerson saying he doesn't want someone to broke his record.
No,
I have no problem with that.
Why? I mean,
why would you want someone to break your record? You don't want no one to break your record.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that record means something. I mean, it's meaningful. Why would you want someone else to take your place?
Exactly. But here's the one thing I don't agree with Eric though. The one thing I don't agree with when someone brought up, or I think either he brought it up or someone brought it up, where it was like, oh, but Saquon did it in 17 games. Eric did it in 16. Yeah, but Eric broke OJ's record. OJ did it in 14 games. So Eric got 2 extra games to break OJ's record.
Also, but okay, a lot of people don't, when people break passing stats, people are like, oh, well, it's a passing league. Well, it was a running league back then. So shouldn't Barkley get more credit now since it's a passing league?
Yes, it should be. The record now should be like the rushing records now will stand the test of time because now they're not running the ball more often. Like the one record that's never going to be broken is Emmitt Smith's rushing record because no one's running the ball. His record is going to stay there forever. It's going to be untouched. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no asterisks to the records now because people were breaking records that were set in 14 games and 16 games. You know what I mean? So there's no asterisks for me.
Also, he would have done it in probably less carries.
He did. Yeah, he would have done it in less carries. Absolutely. Because Eric probably would have had like 300 some odd carries. And I think Saquon barely has 200 or something like that. You know what I mean? So like, that's my thing, right? Like when the record started falling, you were given 2 extra games from 14 to 16. They gave you 2 extra games.
Yeah, but when they're running the ball 40 times a game back then.
Yeah, exactly. But now Saquon only gets an extra game. It's only an extra game, so it doesn't matter. Like when TJ Watt almost broke Michael Strahan's sack record. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have cared. And people would be like, oh, but the extra game, Ferris. Yeah, but sacks weren't a thing till the 70s. So how do you even know that someone didn't have like 30 sacks in a season? You don't know that. The 70s, they started counting sacks, you know? So you don't know what we actually don't know what the real sack record is. If we're being honest. If we're being honest, we don't know.
Well, they could just go back and watch the film and count
They
them
could
if they wanted to.
But how much games were not caught on film? Like people think like, oh, we have a bunch of this. Do we have a bunch of film though? How often? Like probably the 60s, probably those games. What about the 50s? You know, what about the 40s?
Didn't pass the ball enough to get that many sacks.
I know, but you don't know that. We don't know that. But it's conjecture. We don't know. We don't know. Like officially, Deacon Jones, the creator of the sack, officially he has like 143 or something or 44. So, but how do we know he has 144? What if he has 155? We don't know. What if we missed a couple? You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. So I understand why Eric's mad. Understandably, you don't want no one to break your record. But there's no asterisk to him breaking your record because you broke OJ's record in 2 extra games. I'm sorry. You want to talk about an asterisk? Your record has an asterisk, if we're being honest, because they gave you 2 extra games. OJ did it in 14. Yeah, this is the most I've ever referenced OJ ever. This is crazy. But that's a fact that no one talks about, right?
This is not a true crime podcast.
No, thank God. Thank the Lord. But yeah, so like people talk about, oh, extra week, Ferris, extra week. Yeah, but the 80s and the 90s players got an extra 2 games. So like, shut up. Shut up. Go cry to someone who gives a shit. Go cry to your mother. I don't care. You can be angry, Eric. I understand you being angry. You don't want no one to break your record. That's perfectly fine. I understand that. But there's no asterisks to the record breaking. There's literally 0 asterisks, in my opinion. Be angry that he wants to break it. Be angry that it's probably going to get broken, but it's not an asterisk. There's no asterisk to it. I enjoy how we talk about anything else but our teams because our teams suck. I really enjoy that. Another topic.
We're talking about the NFC East. We're talking about the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of the NFC East, the Commanders, they clinched the playoff berth, the Sunday night win against the Atlanta Falcons. It was a great game. We went to OT. Jaden Daniels won the rookie duel between him and Michael Penix. Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year, or Bo Nix? Where are we going?
I don't know. Why would Michael? He's played in 2 games.
Who, Bo Nix?
No, Michael Penix. You just said Michael Penix.
No, I said Jaden Daniels.
Oh,
Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix? Where are we going?
Brock Bowers.
Okay, the team's like 2-13, so like no.
Okay, and he is like the greatest rookie season for tight end.
He's actually the greatest rookie receiving season ever.
Well, see, there you go. So how is that not rookie of the year?
You could give it to him, and I think some people would understand, but some people would also be like, they're 2-13. We're like,
he's on track to be the greatest tight end ever.
You know what? Yeah, pretty much. If he keeps this pace, he's gonna break every single tight end record known to man. But he needs to leave. He needs to leave Vegas because that team is bad.
Touchdowns.
Yeah,
he can't get any touchdowns with the crappy quarterbacks.
No, yeah. Antonio Gates has 116, so that's the record. Good luck to breaking that. Because speaking of Antonio Gates, by the way, the NFL Hall of Fame, they have gone down to their final 16 nominees, the 15 nominees. Let's talk about the 15 nominees. Because really, we've talked about the Giants and the Cowboys. They stink. We'll preview next week's games.
When our coaches get fired or don't get fired, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see about that. But the modern day participants have been said. First one is Eric Allen, cornerback, Philadelphia Eagles, New Orleans or the Raiders. We have Jared Allen, the defensive end we all know about, Kansas City Chief, the Minnesota Viking, famously. Willie Anderson, the tackle who played for the Bengals for many years. Jahari Evans, one of the best guards in the league for the 10 years he was in New Orleans. Second year man, Antonio Gates, the great San Diego Charger, tight end for 15 years. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion, but that's just me. This Hall of Fame is a sham, to be quite honest with you. Torrey Holt, wide receiver, St. Louis, the second receiver in the greatest show on turf. Personally, how can you have Isaac Bruce in there but not Torrey Holt? I don't understand. They were just as important to each other. It's not like Isaac Bruce is that much better than him. So if you put Isaac Bruce in, you got to put in Brock Holt, in my opinion. Torrey Holt. Like, I don't understand. Luke Kuechly, linebacker, Carolina. Eli Manning, QB, New York. All right, stop being a hater. Okay, stop being a hater.
I'm not being a hater.
I think you're
you know you shouldn't be on that list.
Okay, stop being a hater. Steve Smith.
You shouldn't be on the list.
Steve Smith Sr., wide receiver, Carolina. Terrell Suggs, the edge, outside linebacker, defensive end. We all know Terrell Suggs from Baltimore. Fred Taylor, the famous Jacksonville Jaguars running back, New England Patriots running back for a year or two. Adam Vinatieri. Reggie Wayne. Adam Vinatieri, the kicker for New England and Indianapolis. Reggie Wayne, wide receiver, Indianapolis. Up, we have a Cowboy. Cowboy alert! Ding a ding a ding.
The guy that should have been in.
Yep, Darren Woodson, the safety, who was a part of the three championships in the '90s, was probably your third best defender on those teams, behind Deion Sanders and behind, Charles Haley. You can say Darren Woodson was probably two or three. Because I honestly don't. No one really talks about those defenses, Caleb, of the Cowboys.
Defenses.
Exactly, that's the thing. But no one really talks about them because they only talk about the triplets, right? Yeah. Because the triplets, they're offense, they're sexy, and then the only defender they talk about is Deion. But there were other great defenders on that team. Charles Haley, because he was Charles Haley. The first man to have 5 Super Bowls, and then Tom Brady broke that record. Now he has 7. Charles has 5, the second most.
He had Leon Lett, Russell Maryland.
They're not sexy names.
Ken Norton Jr.
You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. Leon Lett. When someone says Leon Lett, two instances come to mind, and they're not good instances. Where Don Beebe stops him from scoring in that Super Bowl. You guys were up 42-17, so it didn't really matter. But, and the Miami game in the snow. You know what I mean? But people don't get Leon Lett was a pretty damn good player. but no one cares about that because they think about those 2 moments. Who are your linebackers? Most people don't know.
I think Jack Del Rio was one of them.
Jack Del Rio. Look at this Jack Del Rio, man. You guys had Jack Del Rio. Like you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It was just, like, this defense of, like, people talk about the Miami Dolphins in the 70s where it was called the no-name defense. You know what I mean? The no-name defense. And you don't know any of the names. Same thing with the 90s and the Cowboys. Who are the defenders? Who was the other cornerback with Deion Sanders, Caleb?
It was the guy who won the Super Bowl MVP.
Willie, who was it?
No.
See?
He was Super Bowl MVP though. He was literally Super Bowl MVP.
Wait, against Pittsburgh?
And the Steelers. Yeah, he got the 2 interceptions.
Something Brown. It's something Brown.
Yeah, something Brown. Can't remember.
It's not Willie Brown.
No.
Because Willie Brown is a Raider. Old man Willie. Something Brown. He got a big deal for something Brown. Damn. Something Brown. 1990s. But that's my point, Caleb. 90s.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember his first name. Why can't I remember his first name?
'92, right? Probably 92.
No, it's 95.
Oh, but let me check 92 real quick.
It was 95.
I know, but let me check 92 real quick. That's the. All right.
Larry Brown, that's his name.
Larry Brown. No, he was also on 92.
Yeah, he didn't win it in 92.
You guys did win it in 92.
He didn't win Super Bowl MVP.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what you meant. But you guys won it. But look at this. I'm looking at this 92 team. I think this is the first team you guys won the Super Bowl with. 92. Mm-hmm. You guys won it in 93. See, look at this. Yeah, then here. So here it is. Your defensive lineman, Tony Casillas, Charles Haley, Chad Hennings, Jim Jeffcoat. Hold up, is that Jackson Jeffcoat's dad?
Yes, that's Jackson Jeffcoat's dad.
Jackson Jeffo, he plays
He played that one.
he plays in
That's
Canada.
fantastic.
He plays in Canada. Jimmy Jones, Leon Lett, so it's Russell Millen and Leon Lett as your defensive tackles.
Mhm.
Haley and Jim Jeffcoat are your defensive ends.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You had 4 receivers, Caleb. Alvin Harper, Michael Irvin, and Jimmy Smith. That was it. You had and Kelvin Martin. You guys had
Jimmy
4
Smith
receivers.
was eventually a great player, not with the Cowboys though.
Yeah, he was with the Jaguars. Yeah. And then you have Jay Novacek.
Yeah,
Those were your guys.
He was awesome.
Yeah, Jay Novacek. And then your running backs are Emmett Smith and Daryl Johnson. Well, fullback, Moose Johnson. But like here's linebackers, Caleb. Can you name your linebackers?
I know Ken Norton Jr. I know Jack Del Rio was one.
Yeah, no, not on the 92 team.
Yeah, he wasn't a starter though. He was like a backup.
No, he's not on here.
Wasn't?
No, he's not on here.
Really?
Yeah, no, not on 92. Probably on 93 or 95, but not on this.
Yeah. The other ones I can't name.
All right, so Ken Norton Jr., you're correct. Dixon Edwards, Robert Jones.
Oh, I thought Dixon Edwards was an end. That's why.
No, yeah. Godfrey Miles.
What a name! Autograph on that ball right there.
Dixon Edwards.
Yeah.
Yo, Godfrey Miles. Jesus, that's a name right there. That's a name right there, man. Mickey Pruitt and Vincent.
Oh, he's on 91 team. That's why.
Oh, Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
Oh, so they got rid of him and they won a title. And then Vincent Smith, and then you know what I mean. So like, and then DBs, you got Larry Brown, Thomas Everett, Kenneth Gant, Clay Holmes, Isaac Holt,
nobody
Ray
knows
Norton.
Guy.
Yeah, man. James Washington, Robert Williams, Darren Woodson. So James Washington and Darren Woodson are probably their starters.
Yeah, James Washington was
and then you had Clayton Holmes and Ken Smith were probably the starters. Because I think the people in italicized are probably your starters. But that's it right there, man. Like,
number one defense.
Number one defense. And number one defense, and you don't even know, and no one knows who any of these people are. People know Ken Norton Jr. more as a defensive coordinator. Because some people don't know their history.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Guess who was on the practice squad, Caleb? Who do you think was on the practice squad?
I don't even know.
Jason Garrett.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go.
But yeah, man, so like Darren Woodson. We're talking about Darren Woodson. I don't even know why we started talking about the Cowboys. Darren Woodson is a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
It's just a thing that, the reason why we're number one, a big reason, because he was the Dallas Cowboys all-time leading tackler. He made play after play, big plays. He's a great player. He's better safety than John Lynch, I don't know how the John Lynch got in before him. It makes no sense. He was a better corner. I mean, he was better safety. And like you just said, he didn't play with he played with 2 other Hall of Famers. John Lynch played with a bunch of guys. Warren Sapp.
In a sense, yeah, he only played with 2 Hall of Famers, Darren Woodson, because Haley and Dion. That's it.
Yeah. And John Lynch had, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber, Simeon Rice, all those type of guys.
You know why he got into the Hall of Fame, Caleb? It's very simple. PR. That team has great PR. The 2002 Bucks has great PR. That's great PR. The Cowboy 90s teams, their PR is offensively only. The triplets. That's it. That's all they talk about was the triplets. Aikman, Smith, Irving. That was it. They didn't care about the defenders and the Dion. Well, because Dion's Dion. Everyone else was in the shadow of Dion on that defense.
And he wasn't even on that team.
Yeah. Dion showed up for 1 year and got a ring. Darren Woodson was there for all 3 years. Darren Woodson
was literally like the only guy like back there who was, Hall of Fame worthy.
Exactly. Like no offense to, Larry Brown or Ken Smith, no disrespect. But, Darren Woodson, man, he was the truth. I don't like complimenting my rival people. But Darren Woodson was a pretty damn good player, you know what I mean? And he needs the respect, man, because
and people just always talk about, at least around the team, that just how great of a guy he was. Like
I remember they asked Deion Sanders, they asked him, who was kind of like the leader. It was Darren Woodson. It's like, it was like, oh, Darren. Everyone listened to him when he was talking. Boom.
We don't compliment
not,
Eagles players
That's
on
not
this
happening,
show.
Davon. That's not happening. Not happening.
Okay.
I like Jason Kelsey's
I can say
podcast.
Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player ever. I'm
Yeah.
not saying anything good about the Eagles.
You know, Jason Kelsey got a good podcast.
Screw Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, screw him. What he needs to do, he needs to trim his eyebrows. That's what he needs to do. Go trim your goddamn eyebrows. But you know, I digress. But yeah, man, like, yeah, I'm looking at this. Here's the 95 team, the one with Dion. You know, Russell Martin, Russell Maryland, Leon Lett still there. You know, Dixon Edwards and Robert Jones and Godfrey Miles. Dude, Godfrey Miles, bro. Look, what a name, bro. He had to be a baller, bro. Imagine your name is Godfrey Miles, Caleb, and you're like an insurance adjuster. My name is Godfrey Miles. How can I adjust your insurance? Like, nah, bro. That man needs to be a football player.
He's the best damn insurance salesman.
Damn right, Godfrey Miles, bro. Look at it. So yeah, then Dion and Larry Brown, then Darren Woodson. Like, Darren Woodson was first team All Pro. You know, he's first team All Pro. Darren Woodson.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what like, here it is, bro. Like, here it is. He was first team All Pro, Caleb, for 3 straight years. 3 straight years.
Yeah.
You don't give that to a scrub, homie. Pro Bowls you give to scrubs nowadays. All pros is what matters. Always has been, always will matter.
He played a unique position. He was the safety hybrid linebacker type of player.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best at it. You know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Lastly, last modern day nominee. This is for Davon. This is for you, Davon. Marshall Yanda, one of the other great guards of our modern generation. In Marshall Yanda, 12 years in Baltimore. So there's that. Caleb, who on this Hall of Fame list should be in? Definite locks. Darren, we already agreed on Darren.
Yeah.
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates should be.
Okay. That's like definite locks. No
go,
argument.
Go again the list again. We'll go.
Let's go over the list again. Okay, let's go over the list. Eric Allen, cornerback.
No.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's like Eagles corner.
Yeah, I know. It says he's an Eagles, but I don't remember him. I remember the other.
I'm saying if I've never seen a highlight of Eric Allen, so no.
No, we have, but it's the other Eric Allen, the guy who was in the Niner. That Eric Allen.
Isn't that the same Eric Allen?
No. This Eric Allen never played for the Niners.
Oh.
Hold up, I need to find out who this Eric Allen is. Who is this Eric?
He played for the Eagles. I just know that he played for the Eagles.
Eric Allen, football cornerback. Oh, I know him. Yeah. I know this guy.
The fact that you have to look him up says that he should not be in Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was a part of the Eagles with Buddy Ryan.
Yeah.
He was with Reggie and Jerome Brown. Yeah. Oh, I remember this dude. Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, he was a part of the gang green defense with Reggie White, Seth Joyner, Jerome Brown, Andre Waters. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You know.
It's a no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. No offense to Eric Allen. There's another Eric Allen. You know, there's the other Eric Allen, right? The Niner guy.
Yeah, because he used to be in media.
No, they both used to be in media.
I did?
Yeah.
Never even seen the other Eric Allen.
You know, I remember this Eric Allen. He worked for ESPN for a minute. But is it Niner?
Is it the same one?
Is it Eric? Okay, I don't think. Is it Eric Allen? He got that fumble. Remember that fumble against you guys that cost you guys the game? Is that Eric Davis?
Eric Davis, that's who you're thinking of.
Eric Davis. Yeah. Eric Davis. Yeah, that's the dude. That's the guy who you guys were beating them and they needed something. They needed something to beat you. And then like you fumbled the ball and he picked it up and ran.
Okay, we're still too much area. The next one.
Huh? Okay, yeah, okay.
I think he's a no.
He's a no. Okay. Jared Allen.
Allen's tough.
He was He was really great,
He was
but
really good.
he was never
Like,
the best defensive end in the
oh
league
yeah, he's
ever.
really good.
Or was he the best defensive end in the league? You
I
know?
mean, I would say eventually, just not right now. Eventually, I think he's
Okay.
a Hall of Famer, just not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not first ballot. But that's the thing,
Listen,
Caleb. Here's the thing, Caleb. If you're not going to be voting for that guy first ballot, should you be ever voting for him anyway?
well, I mean, if it's like a slow year, yeah.
Okay.
That's how the
Willie,
other guys that you're kind of iffy on. Like,
yeah.
during slow years, like okay, you can put him in.
Yeah. Willie Anderson.
I don't know what I can't really make a
Right? He was
judgment.
Cincinnati Bengal. He was a Cincinnati
Yeah, I know
Bengal
he's a
for
Bengal, but it's
for
it's an offensive
for
lineman.
for over offensive lineman is pretty tough. Like
Yeah,
they put Joe Thomas in first ballot. And Joe Thomas is probably the biggest loser in the NFL history. You know what I mean? But everyone knows that Joe Thomas was the best left tackle in the game, but he's also the biggest loser in the NFL. So like offensive lineman is kind of like,
yeah.
you
It's
don't
hard
know,
to judge.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, certain offensive linemen, and you're like, yeah, those are Hall of Famers. Like Jonathan Ogden and Anthony Munoz and Tony Baselli, stuff like that. But but Joe Thomas, people are like, oh, that's a Hall of Famer, but he never made the playoffs. He never won more than like 7 games in a season. Like the man was a loser for most of his career. But everyone was like, that's all.
Lineman, like, did they give up? They never gave up a sack, or
Yeah.
they let a rusher for like a big year.
Yeah. Joe Thomas never really did that either.
Well, I mean, I think nobody really
sack
got by him.
wise, sack wise, yeah, but like how many running backs in Cleveland got over? Yeah, Payne Hillis, that's true.
You got that Payne Hillis here.
That's true. Okay, then speaking of another offensive lineman, guard Jahari Evans. Yeah. Jahari Evans was one of the best guards. Was a pretty damn good guard.
Yeah.
But was he the best
guard? He was on the Super Bowl team, right?
Yeah, he was on that Super Bowl team. Yeah.
Yeah. So that helps. That helps you.
That helps. Maybe. I don't know about guard play. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You're right in the middle. You're not on an island like the tackle.
Yeah.
You don't make the calls like the center.
Exactly. And you're not Bruce Matthews, who played guard, tackle, and center. You know what I mean? Like, something like, yeah. Antonio Gates, we already said yeah. Antonio Gates, that's Torrey Holt's in. I'm sorry, you can't put Isaac and not have Torrey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, it's just weird because receivers, they just make them wait. Like Michael Irvin waited forever.
Yeah. Chris Carter.
T.O. waited way longer than he probably should have.
Yeah, and he was very upset about it. Chris Carter got angry about it as well. Famously,
those were better receivers than
Torrey Holt. Yeah, exactly. They actually punished Chris Carter for speaking out, so they actually made him wait an extra couple more years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if they make Torrey Holt wait for another 10 years, and he eventually gets
10 years. Come on, let's calm down with that. 10
well, he could be one of those senior guys, like a Drew Pearson or something like that.
No, but Torrey Holt was great on that Rams team. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but
just saying he wasn't. I mean, they made the greatest receivers in the game ever wait.
No, I know, Caleb, dude. He's this is like his 8th or 10th year waiting.
That's true.
Yeah, he's like it's not like he
might have waited enough.
Yeah, no, it's not like he's like this is like his 4th year waiting. Like he's been waiting for a minute. He retired in 2010, 09, 010. Then you have to wait 5 years. So 15. That's 2015.
Yeah, I guess it's been
10 years. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
Give me a minute.
So you got to put Torrey in. So Tony and Torrey are in. Okay, Luke Kuechly. That's going to be the big case. Because Luke Kuechly, when he stepped on the field, Caleb.
Yeah.
He was the best linebacker in the game till the day he retired. You know what I mean? So what can we say about Luke Kuechly, man? Like, he was drafted out of Boston College. No one knew really much about him yet. People were all big fans about him. But after the end of his rookie year, he was the best linebacker in the league. And then he was the best linebacker in the league till he retired. He was on a Super Bowl team, multiple playoff teams. Luke Kuechly is a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Luke Kuechly is a Hall of Famer. Let me see. Luke Kuechly, the all pro slot for linebacker when he stepped onto the field was his. Let me tell you, Caleb. Let me tell you something about Luke Kuechly. Rookie year, he won AP Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know, they don't want to give rookie an All-Pro spot. Sure, fine, whatever. His second year in the league, Pro Bowl, AP First Team Defensive Player of the Year, AP First Team, AP First Team, AP Second Team, AP First Team, AP First Team, AP Second Team. By the way, who the hell was the AP First Team Linebacker of the Year? What? I want to see who they picked over Luke Kuechly. Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Sean Lee, Luke Kuechly. Oh, so they put Bobby and Von Miller over him. Oh. Huh. Okay.
They put who over him?
So in 2016, they had Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, and Sean Lee over him.
Oh, Von Miller's a pass rusher, so I don't know why they.
Yeah, I don't know why they should have made Von Miller an edge rusher, but edge rusher that year was Khalil Mack, Vic Beasley, and Jadeveon Clowney. That's interesting. I don't fully agree with that, but sure. But yeah, and then his last year in the league was 2019. Again, he was AP second team. It better AP 2019 AP NFL. Again, at linebacker, it was okay. They put Bobby Wagner, Demario Davis, Eric Kendricks, TJ Watt, Chandler Jones. TJ Watt, Chandler Jones are edge rushers, so they don't count. So Kendricks, Demario Davis, and Bobby Wagner. All right. Okay, I guess so. Yeah, whatever. I guess. Okay. But yeah, so I think Luke Kuechly's in, Caleb. My opinion. That's my. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Me.
I mean, Patrick Willis just got in, right?
Yeah. And I agreed with that as well.
Yeah. So that's basically the same.
Yeah, and they made Patrick Willis wait. Well, they made Patrick Willis wait for like 2 to 3 years, and then they put him in. Luke, first ballot. Luke's first ballot. Like, no, I agree. Luke definitely in. So we got Antonio Gates, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly. Then now the biggest case, not in like the lightning rod, the arguments will explode player this year. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
No, he's not. He is not a Hall of Famer. He doesn't deserve anywhere near the Hall. He doesn't even deserve to be in the city of Canton. He can't even go there.
I don't agree.
How do you not agree?
I don't agree.
How? Throughout his career, he wasn't even a good quarterback. He wasn't even a good quarterback. How can you go to the Hall of Fame when you weren't even a good quarterback? He led the NFL in interceptions for 3 years. I mean, you're a bad quarterback if you do that. You're a bad quarterback for 3 years, and you how do you?
Brett Favre has done that.
Yeah, but he also won 3 MVPs.
Subjectiveness.
How's that subjectiveness? He won 3 MVPs.
Yeah,
that erases those interceptions. Eli Manning.
It doesn't erase his interceptions.
Yes, it does. When you win 3 MVPs, have all the records when you retire. Yes.
What records? You mean the one where he just wouldn't retire?
When he retired, he had the passing record. He had the most
he didn't.
The most games.
No, he didn't.
He did. Yes, he did.
It was Dan Marino.
He had the most passing yards.
No, it was Dan Marino.
He had the most passing yards.
He beat Dan Marino's record.
Yes.
Man, that's just because he was old.
Yeah, he played a long time. Yes, but that's a
compiler.
But you were still good enough to play.
But here's the thing, Caleb. So you said 3 MVPs erase his years of throwing a lot of interceptions. You said that, right? That's what you said.
Yes. Yeah.
2 Super Bowls don't do that.
No, they don't. They don't.
Why don't they do
He didn't win them.
Why?
He didn't win them.
Yes, he did.
No, he was on the team.
No, bro. If you watch those Super Bowl years,
he
carried those teams.
No,
he carried those Super Bowl. Yes, he did.
Dude, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Those defenses.
The defense carried him. The defense carried him.
This is how I know you weren't watching. This is how I know
I watched it. We played against them. We played against them 3 times that season. 3 times. I watched it. Eli Manning was not carrying anything.
They were bottom. They were in the bottom half of the league.
In 2011, not in 2007.
Both.
No, they weren't.
Yes. Oh my God.
How do you say? Okay, if the Patriots, as good as they were in 2007, if they had just scored their average amount of points on offense, they would have won.
They had a good game. The defense had a great game.
Exactly.
But
that means the defense won the game. They won the Super Bowl. Because if the Patriots just score their average amount of points, they win that game. And Eli Manning didn't score enough to beat the average Patriots offense. You know how they won it? Because the defense kept Tom Brady from reaching the average of his point total.
Okay, but who brought them to the Super Bowl? That game against Green Bay. The game against Green Bay. It was I think it was a shootout. But then Brett Favre, guess what happened? Brett Favre threw an interception because he sucked.
Who made the interception? The defense.
I'm just saying, dog. Eli Manning was good.
No, he was never good. He was never good.
He was good.
If he didn't have the two Super Bowls, then he wouldn't even have played for as long as he did. They would have benched him.
Yeah, they should have benched him.
That's the only reason why they kept him as a starter for so long. So he wouldn't even be close in numbers to the top 10 where he is. I think he's like, top 10 or 15 in passing yards, but it's only because he played for so long when he shouldn't have been. If they didn't have those Super Bowl rings, he wouldn't have even been a starter for that long. They like any smart team would say this guy sucks, and you yourself would have said, let's get rid of this guy. If he had lost both the Super Bowls, you would have said get rid of Eli Manning a long time ago.
So let's check it. Let's check it. Right. So 2007, the year they made the Super Bowl, they were 10-6, right? Or was it the 2006? No, yeah, 2007.
2007.
Or was it? Yeah, he had a bad year. He had 23 touchdowns.
He was a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, he had 23 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 56% completion percentage, 336 passing yards. Yeah, that's good-ish, but not very good. But then 2011, he had 29 passing touchdowns over almost 5,000 yards. His 4,933 yards. He did have 16 interceptions, but he had over 589 attempts. He led the league in attempts. So, of course, you're going to throw some picks.
16 interceptions.
Yeah, but back in those days, that was
his
common.
low amount. That was his low amount of interceptions.
No, 1 year he only threw 10. Okay? So let's calm down.
What do you not? Did he play the whole season?
Yeah, he did play the whole season. He went 12-4. He had over 3,000 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Okay, Tony Romo was not better.
He was better. Tony Romo was better. He was a better quarterback more consistently than Eli Manning.
All right. You know what, Leo, I used to like you, okay? I used to prefer you over Caleb. You were my favorite Ochoa, but now you're talking some nonsense. All right.
How is that nonsense? Romo had better stats every single year.
The league was different.
What's different? He didn't throw as many interceptions as Eli Manning.
The way the league was.
And that's when Romo was known as the interception guy, and he wasn't even close to the interceptions as Eli Manning did.
Okay, all right. For the record, if he doesn't get in, I don't care. All right? If he does get in, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Super Bowls, you got to throw them out the window because there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame with Super Bowls that I don't think should be in there. Bill Cowher. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. But if
I'm gonna, but he probably will just because
he's gonna get in. He's gonna get in. Come on,
they want to kiss.
Yeah, he's gonna get in, man. But I think.
But personally, he was a terrible quarterback. He should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Terrible is a stretch, my guy.
He's terrible quarterback.
Terrible is a stretch. Then if you're calling him terrible, then I don't think. You know what I mean? I don't think you were watching. If he terrible, I don't think he was terrible.
I watched him every single year. They played us twice every single year.
Yeah.
I never thought he was good.
And he beat you guys multiple times, by the way. I just want to point that as well.
Multiple times, but that was because of defense.
Sure. Now you're talking about your derriere.
It was because of the defense.
2011, that defense was not as good as people thought it was. They were not a very good
But they
defense.
were good in the playoffs.
Okay, just because they get hot doesn't mean anything.
Players get hot. Mean anything? That means they led them to the Super Bowl.
No, because you keep talking about like he stinks because his defense got hot. They weren't good for most of the year.
Yeah, but the Patriots also didn't score that. They only scored like 21 points in the 2011 Super Bowl.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Go back and look at the score. They only scored like 21 points.
What was Bill Belichick? What did you want?
That's what I'm saying. The Patriots offense was great even in 2011. It wasn't as good as 07, but it was still really good. It still had Tom Brady, and that defense that you say was mediocre still held Tom Brady.
21-17. Sure.
Exactly. So it was 17 points.
Yeah.
It was 17 points. They held them below 20 points. And you're saying it wasn't the defense?
The defense was pretty good. They got
how was it not the defense if they held one of the Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever, to 17 points in the Super Bowl?
They keep getting hot, man. I don't know. Tom Brady, we just owned Tom Brady. We just owned him somehow.
But you didn't own him because they beat you earlier in the year in 07.
But it was a shootout. It was 34.
In 2011. They beat you in 2011 too.
Yeah, but when the lights were bright, guess what happened?
Yeah, so you didn't own him. You played. The defense played well in the Super Bowl. They won that Super Bowl. Eli Manning had nothing to do with it.
Eli Manning had great games that playoff.
He just threw up the ball and
that's how I know. Now you fucking lying. All right, now you're fucking lying. Because I watched that Green Bay game where they beat the Green Bay Packers. Eli Manning had a great game, and I watched them against the Niners where Eli Manning got assaulted the entire game, and he stayed in the game. All right, now Caleb, Caleb, I know we talk shit, but let's not hear lying. Okay, now you're lying.
How am I lying?
Because 2011, though that playoff, Eli Manning carried them. You know who still owns the most passing yards in a single postseason?
They shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. If we had done our job, we would have been.
Then
in the
you should have beaten us. But
he wouldn't even have that Super Bowl.
But you didn't
Cowboys
beat us.
should have been in the playoffs that year.
But you didn't, because we beat you. You know why? Because when the lights are bright and it's time to win a game, guess who wins that game? It's not Peyton Manning. It's Eli Manning. I always made a joke where it was, let Peyton Manning play the regular season, then bench him for Eli.
Yeah, but there was other games we could have won.
Then y'all should have done it, but y'all couldn't do it.
It wouldn't even come down to that last game of the year.
Guess what? You know why? Because Tony Romo didn't win those games. So Tony Romo isn't as good as him.
I think he was hurt for a couple games.
Whatever, man. John Kitna. You know what I mean? Damn, John Kitna. Damn, that's a name. Haven't said John Kitna in years. But all right, next guy, Terrell Suggs. Yes, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But does he have the sack numbers?
No.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, man. He doesn't have the sack numbers. Hold on, let me see this.
He has the sack numbers, then I would say yes.
Okay, NFL sack leaders. History. There's Bruce Smith. Since 1960. Since 1960, that's when the sack records were there. Terrell Suggs is 12th with 139.
Yeah, so he should be in there.
So
12th is good enough to be in the Hall of Fame.
So the first 11 are in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the first 11 are all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 12th, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because DeMarcus Ware's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, DeMarcus Ware is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so Terrell Suggs is the Hall of Famer then.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay.
He has the sack numbers.
So
that's all you need is a pass rusher.
Yeah. Richard Dent, John Randall. Hold up. Okay, but then Jared Allen's 16th.
That's still close enough.
So
but that's what I said. I said he should wait. I didn't say we said no on that one though.
Yeah. So because the first 11, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Deacon Jones, Hall of Famers. Kevin Green, God rest his soul, Hall of Famer. Julius Peppers, Hall of Famer. Jack Youngblood, Hall of Famer. Chris Dolman, Hall of Famer. I think that's who's this guy? He's the Minnesota guy, the Purple People Eater. Him and Alan Page. Literally, him and Alan Page are like literally 7 and 8, which is hilarious to me. Shout out to them. They both Minnesota Viking legends. Is Chris Dolman a Hall of Famer?
One of those Vikings are.
No, Alan Page is, but is Chris Dolman in Hall of Famer? He died, unfortunately. God rest his soul. 2012. Yeah, he's 2012. All right. So he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he's number 12. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Lawrence Taylor's 9. Lawrence Taylor 9. That's crazy. I can't believe he's 9. Michael Strahan is 10. Jason Taylor is 11. So Jason Taylor is a Hall of Famer. You know, like Terrell, and he's only half a sack above Terrell Suggs. You know, Terrell Suggs, if you really think about it, was the third best defender on those Baltimore Ravens teams. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, Hall of Famers. Terrell Suggs is a Hall of Famer. The guy you have to make an argument for is Haloti Ngata. Him, you know, that's the guy. But just like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, the Baltimore Ravens defense, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. Those are all Hall of Famers. So how many Hall of Famers do we have off of this list, Caleb? Tony Gates, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs. But we skipped one. I'm sorry that I skipped this guy because he is he's a very aggressive man. Short man too, but he's very aggressive as well. Steve Smith Sr.
No.
The greatest wide receiver in Carolina Panthers history.
I don't think he has the numbers.
Yeah, but let's see. Steve.
I don't think he has the numbers.
All-time receiving yards. It's 14,734.
I mean, let's see. He has 14,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty low. I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah, he has a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck doesn't he have the
I
numbers?
Hey, I was wrong, Jay. I didn't know the numbers. I thought it was around like 11,000. To be honest,
Yo,
I didn't know the numbers.
I could just. He's eighth. He's eighth.
I admit
He's
when
eighth.
I'm wrong.
He's eighth all time. He's eighth all time in receiving yards. He's eighth all time.
I didn't realize that.
Yo, you could I read it as Jay and I read it as Angry Jay. Jay was like, yo, how the fuck you don't got the numbers, Caleb?
I was thinking more around 11,000.
So Jay says if Steve Smith doesn't get in, I would care. 139 sacks. Him and Ray Lewis destroyed people. Haloti Ngata is what Justin Madubuike wishes he was. Yeah, so Steve Smith is eighth.
Yeah,
let me go through it. 1 through 7 are all in the Hall of Fame. No, not yet. Larry Fitzgerald isn't up yet.
Well, he's gonna be
next year.
Yeah,
next year's the 5-year gap.
Yeah,
he's the first ballot Hall of Famer, by the way. Larry Fitzgerald, Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce. Damn, Isaac Bruce. Yo, Isaac Bruce is 5th. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Isaac Bruce, Tony Gonzalez, Tim Brown, Steve Smith. But then after him, you have Marvin Harrison, who's a Hall of Famer. And then here's the thing too: the other receiver in this class is Reggie Wayne. Reggie's 10th.
Yeah, he should.
Reggie's 10th.
Be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
Reggie's 10th. So Steve, okay, so we got Tony Gates, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Steve Smith, Terrell Suggs. And then we keep going down. We're at Fred Taylor, running back. That's going to be another conversation here, Caleb. I like how we're ending the show this way because I quite enjoy this. Fred Taylor, running back.
It's a tough one. He has waited a long time.
A really long time. And I'm checking the rushing yard leaders.
Yeah. He has 11,000. That's good enough. I mean,
that's 17th.
Running back gets 10,000. Yeah.
That's 17th all time. But here's the thing too. The first 16 are all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get at least like 10, 11,000.
Except Frank Gore.
He'll
be up next year.
He will be,
yeah. And Adrian Peterson.
That's tough.
Everyone before him was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But it's just
hey man. He's kind of like Edgerrin James. He's kind of like Edgerrin James, and Edge is a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Like no offense to Edge, but like Edge, he has the Super Bowl to his name. Edge has the Super Bowl to his name.
No, he doesn't.
Edge, yeah, he was on the Super Bowl team.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, he was in Arizona. Yeah. Yeah. Edge's rookie year, he was AP.
That was Joseph Addai.
Joseph Addai, yeah, it was. Edge, Edge is a damn good player. Fred, the problem with Fred is he was a part of a generation where there was a lot of good running backs. There's a lot of good running backs from 98 to 2000. Like he was, But then there's also a couple years where he, that's the year he got injured, so that makes sense. So let's see, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 7,000-yard seasons. He was third in AP Rookie of the Year.
during the time of LT and
Yeah,
John Alexander and
exactly.
Reese Holmes and Jamal Lewis and
Yeah, and then then Marshall Faulk was a part of that generation as
Faulk.
well. Edgerrin James was a part of that generation as well. So yeah, and then he was also on the back end of
Curtis Martin.
Yeah. He's also the front end of Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore. So there's that. So there's a lot of great running backs with Fred Taylor. So
that's tough. I mean, if
tough,
he gets in,
right?
he gets in.
Because here's the thing, like
I know
if
that.
Derrick, if Derrick Henry keeps this pace, and Derrick Henry's 20th all time in rushing, and he's only 1,000 yards away from Marcus Allen. Let's say he has another 1,000-yard season next year, and another one. Derrick Henry's a Hall of Famer.
We have a couple more years left. Let's see how well he played this year.
Yeah. Let's see the rushing touchdown list all time. See that rushing career touchdown list. Let's see where Fred Taylor is.
That's probably lower.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, that's where he probably doesn't have it.
Yeah. Shoot, he's not even in the top 35.
Yeah, he only has 66.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's 42. Behind Todd Gurley, actually, and Thomas Jones.
Jaguars weren't good.
Yeah, they weren't. Well, Maurice Jones-Drew is 38.
Well, they weren't good.
Yeah, they weren't. That's fine. Chuck Muncie? Who did he play for? Chuck Muncie? Who did Chuck Muncie play for? Who's this? Oh, it's the Saints. So yeah, is Fred Taylor in the Hall of Fame? I think Derrick Henry's a Hall of Famer because he's 7th all time in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. He ran for 2002.
Yeah, he did. He did. So I don't know.
We're gonna say no.
Yeah, I guess no.
We're gonna say no this year.
All right. Specialist, Adam Vinatieri.
Eventually, not this year.
Not first ballot.
No.
All right, that's because he played special teams.
Yeah, he's a kicker. Come on.
All right, okay.
Eventually, but
yeah, Reggie Wayne.
I thought he's not in yet.
No, Reggie Wayne. No, not yet.
Oh. Well, that's the argument. Who gets in before?
Yeah, because he's basically fighting Steve Smith.
Yeah, Steve Smith or Reggie Wayne. If Steve Smith has better numbers than
he does,
then Steve Smith gets in now, and then Reggie Wayne has to wait.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but here's the problem though too is a lot of these records that are being set by the former receivers are being broken because it's a past league. Like right here, like all-time receiving touchdowns.
In the same era though.
Reggie and Steve, yeah, but I'm talking about now. I'm talking about
versus them. But I'm saying,
I'm
just talking about those two. They play in the same era. So if Steve
Smith is better, he's better than Reggie Wayne. He's better than Reggie. And they're only going to pick one. They're only going to pick one. So here's the thing too.
Yeah, they're only going to pick one. They're not going to pick both of these guys.
Well, no, the thing is, but Torrey's also there. So these are the three receivers.
He was earlier than them.
It was no, man. It was 99 to 2008. Steve Smith was 2001 to 2013. They played in the same era, basically.
I guess so.
And Reggie played in 2001. So Steve and Reggie came in 2001. Torrey was in 99. So it was like a year or two apart. So they're still the same generation. In retrospect, are they going to pick two receivers or one receiver? Because if they're going to pick one receiver, it's going to be Steve Smith. If they pick two, it's going to be Torrey and Steve. So Reggie's going to be the one outside looking in. And I like Reggie. Reggie's a phenomenal receiver. Reggie.
Yeah, but he was the second guy.
Until Marvin Harrison retired and became the first guy. Then he was always the first guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't like the first guy.
All right, fine. All right. Okay, so we have Antonio Gates, guaranteed Hall of Famers. Antonio Gates, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Steve Smith, Darren Woodson. That's 5. Now Marshall Yanda, another guard.
Another guard. We don't know.
We don't know
if they say yes, then I'm not going to argue.
I'm not going to argue.
They know how to evaluate guards than I do.
Yeah. If Willie Anderson, Jahari Evans, and Marshall Yanda all make the Hall of Fame, I'm not going to disagree. Because I don't know. I don't know. Steve Smith was number 1 on both teams, Ravens and Carolina. He also in Carolina he had a good teammate in Musha Muhammad, but he made sure he was the number one guy. He was the prime dog. So I think Steve Smith gets in. I think Luke Kuechly gets in. I'm talking about guarantees, like guaranteed that they're coming in. Gates, Kuechly, Smith, Suggs, Woodson. I guarantee them. Those are guarantees. Suggs, Smith, Woodson, Kuechly, Gates. Those 5. All the others, to be honest with you, if you want to put them in, cool. If you don't want to put them in, I don't care.
I care if Eli Manning.
All right, you're just a hater, dude. It's fine.
I'm not a hater.
You're just a hater, man.
Not a good quarterback.
Like a hater over here, man. But next year is going to be a great year too. I think it's going to be a great year because Larry Fitzgerald's up, Frank Gore is up. Larry Fitzgerald's going to be first ballot, by the way. Larry Fitzgerald, the second greatest. I'm not going to lie to you, man. People don't talk about Larry Fitzgerald that much, but he probably has a case of being the second greatest receiver of all time. That's all I have to say.
Maybe.
Not because, because here's the thing. It's Jerry, and then between Jerry, it was always T.O. and Randy. It's like T.O. and Randy. Who's better, T.O. or Randy?
I still think it's Randy.
Well, the problem with Randy is sometimes Randy didn't want to play football.
Yeah.
Sometimes Randy was like, I don't want to play this week.
He's still, like, if he might have been the greatest if he wanted to play the whole time.
But that's the thing, Caleb. That has to take into account that. You have to take that into account.
That's why number 2. It does take into account because that's.
Yeah, I know, but I think but Larry always wanted to play, and Larry, great stat about him. Thank you for bringing that up, Jay. Larry, legend, has probably the best natural hands in NFL. So you're right, Larry. You're right, Jay. You know why, Caleb? Larry Fitzgerald has more tackles than drop passes. He has tackled more people than he's dropped passes. That's how you know he's a great receiver.
That's how you know he had bad quarterbacks who threw a lot of interceptions.
Well, that as well. Shout out to John Skelton, Derek Anderson. So there's that. But yeah, man, and with T.O., unfortunately with T.O., he had drop issues.
Yeah.
So I think Larry's better than T.O.
Yeah.
I honestly think that. I think Larry's better than T.O.
I would put him 3 personally.
Randy.
I'm not gonna say
over. It's just Randy. Randy was so good.
He's so good. I mean, like I said,
he was good. He was good, man. I was like, oh god.
He might have been the greatest, right? Like you said, if he wanted to play all the time.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. What he did to y'all on Thanksgiving.
Huh.
What he did to y'all on Thanksgiving, man. That's probably one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my. I saw it. I didn't see it live. I saw like it was on YouTube, and I watched that game on YouTube. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, over 170 yards. You know what I mean? Yo, did you know Alex was a Colts fan? Did you know this?
No.
Alex, my boy, Armada says, at least the Giants beat my Colts. I guess there's Colts fans in West Virginia, I guess. But yeah, man. So on the touchdown receivers list, it's Jerry, Randy, T.O., Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison, Larry Fitzgerald. And then Tony Gonzalez is 8th. But here, 9 and 10. You know who 9 and 10 are? Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. They're 9 and 10. So they're probably going to pass Tony Gonzalez. And Antonio Gates.
The fact that Tony Gonzalez is on that list is
Antonio Gates is 7th.
But yeah.
Him and Tony. Yeah, honestly, Antonio Gates not being a first ballot Hall of Famer, that pissed me the fuck off. That pissed me off. I don't know why. I keep defending Chargers legends every single time they're up for the Hall of Fame, and it's kind of weird because I
think that's why they don't get in, because nobody cares about the Chargers.
That's just so messed up, dude. Like they had a coach who revolutionized.
Nobody's yelling like, "Oh, get my guy," because there's no fans.
That's not cool, man. Bro, the Chargers had a coach who revolutionized football.
Like the only Chargers fan is that Asian lady that they keep showing on TV.
Well, she's also a Minnesota Vikings fan as well. Oh, whatever, man. Sorry. But on that note, everyone, do you want to preview next week? Do you want to?
Yes. We got to preview. We got to do the preview.
All right, fine.
We got Giants Eagles. It's a big game. Not really.
They're literally resting everyone.
They rested guys against us and they cooked their ass.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't rest them. They didn't.
No. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown played, but they're not playing this week.
But Jalen Hurts didn't play, and we still got our ass kicked.
Yeah, we're probably gonna lose too. It's gonna be wild watching Kenny Pickett beat us.
Yeah, it was wild watching Tanner McKee beat us.
Yeah, so it's what it is. Eagles are gonna win. I hope they do, because if they don't win,
No, I think Drew Lock's gonna pull it out against the Broncos.
yeah, I, mean, I think they are, and I think we're gonna fall to ninth. I think we're gonna win this game, and I'm gonna be mad. Ah, man, this is gonna be crazy. So who are the Cowboys against?
We got the Commanders.
The Commanders. The Commanders going. They don't care. Yo, that's crazy. It's a reverse, ain't it? The Commanders don't care about the Cowboys game. It's meaningless.
I don't know if I don't even. But we don't have enough. We don't have any guys. All guys are hurt.
Yeah. Damn, that game is meaningless too. That's crazy. So Commanders.
I think we can win. We beat them with their starters. We had
Yeah.
Lamb.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's gonna be tough.
Juan Thomas.
I think it's gonna be competitive.
You think you're gonna win?
Maybe. Why not? I think we're gonna win because I think Mike McCarthy wants to.
No, Alex, we're not doing that shit.
I think McCarthy wants to show something, whether he stays with the Cowboys or goes for another team. I think he wants to leave on a positive note.
Yeah. But it is what it is. So let's go. Victories for both teams?
Who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
No, this week. The Giants and the Cowboys are both winning this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would we do a Super Bowl preview? We ain't there yet.
Well, because it's almost the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll do that during Wild Card Weekend. Right. By the way, Rob Gronkowski is also going to be up for the Hall of Fame next year. So Rob Gronkowski first ballot Hall of Famer as well. He has 92 touchdowns in 11 seasons. Good for him. Too bad injuries really ruined his career. But still got 92 touchdowns, which is crazy. But on that note, everyone. No, Alex, we're not going to eat doo-doo if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. It's not happening. We don't make those type of bets. Those are bets Florida State fans make. And they don't live up to it. But on that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We didn't really talk about the Cowboys and the Giants because, a Philadelphia Eagles fan ate horse shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I remember that. It's just disgusting group of fans, aren't they? Just a disgusting group of fans.
Despicable.
Yeah, I don't like them. All right. We didn't really talk about our teams because our teams suck. They don't deserve that. Shout out to the Hall of Fame for dropping their list so we can actually have a good conversation.
We can talk about the Pro Bowlers.
No. What?
What? We got just because you all don't have Pro Bowls, we got Pro Bowlers.
No, we got a Pro Bowler. I got a Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler.
It's a Dexter Lawrence.
One guy. We got. Who do we got? We got Tyler Smith made his first Pro Bowl.
I'm trying to eat, man, before I got another show.
Tyler Smith made his first Pro Bowl, and I'm damn proud of him because he was the most consistent lineman that we had.
Good.
And our special teamers and Kabati Turpin.
Yes, Jay. An Eagles fan ate horse shit.
Yeah.
Yes, that happened. JC's a Pro Bowler. See, that's how you know the Pro Bowl don't mean nothing. JC Horn's a Pro Bowler.
Well, see, that's why they know they made the right pick.
Yeah, whatever, man. All right, let's look up at this Pro Bowl list. Pro Bowl rosters.
Patrick Mahomes is not on it.
Why should it be?
Well,
all right, Pro Bowlers. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor. Patrick Ricard. Receivers. Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy?
I know, that's what I said. I said Jerry Jeudy. What?
Nico Collins, Zay Flowers. Tight ends, Brock Bowers, Travis Kelce. Tackles, Deion Dawkins, Laramie Tunsil, Rashawn Slater. Guards, Quentin Nelson, Joe Thuney, Trey Smith. Centers, Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum. And now we're on the AFC defense. Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, and Max Crosby. Interior linemen, Chris Jones, Nnamdi Madubuike, and Cam Hayward. Outside linebackers, Khalil Mack, TJ Watt, Nick Bonito. Inside linebackers, Roquan Smith, Zaire Franklin. Cornerbacks, Derek Stingley Jr. and Patrick Surtain II. Don't understand why he's the second. Why can't it be Patrick Surtain Jr.? Because there's no third. I don't understand that. Unless there is a third.
Yeah, it's the same name. If it's the same name that you
Yeah, but
mentioned.
so is Derek Stingley Jr. It's the same name. He's a
Well,
junior. Juniors become seconds when there's
well,
thirds.
maybe it's because of his grandfather. Maybe his grandfather.
Then Patrick Sustain should be the third then.
Well, what if his dad's not in the same name?
And that makes no sense.
Well, if you're named after your grandfather, you'd be the second.
You're not a junior.
You're not a junior. You'd be the
No,
second.
you got to be from your father.
That's why he goes by the second.
Yeah, because the only time you could be connected to your grandpa is if your grandpa named his son the same name and your dad named you the same name, so you'd be the third. Like if your grandpa was Leo Ochoa and then your dad's Leo Ochoa, then your name is Leo Ochoa, you'd be Leo Ochoa the third, and your dad would be Leo Ochoa the second, and your grandpa would be Leo Ochoa the first or senior, depending on. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. But Certain says the second, while Derek Stingley Jr. says junior. Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't. Marlon Humphrey, Denzel Ward, free safety. Yeah, it's a personal preference of the family. Exactly. Minka Fitzpatrick, strong safety. We got Kyle Hamilton and Derwin James, and then special teams Ross Matisic and Logan Cook, punter and long snapper from the Jaguars, of course, because the Jaguars have punted a lot. Place kicker, Chris Boswell. Return specialist, Marvin Mims. And Brandon Schooler of New England, of course. It's a New England guy. There's two Broncos on this. Two Broncos. So Adelia, three Broncos. Two defenders and Marvin Mims Jr. So there's that. But now the NFC, the teams we care about. Don't know why they're on two different, but that's fine. Quarterbacks, we got Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold. Respect. Running backs, Quan Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs. Fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, always and forever. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin. Feel like, yeah, fine. Tight ends, George Kittle, Trey McBride. Offensive tackles, Lane Johnson, Penei Sewell, Tristan Wirfs. Guards, Landon Dickerson, Tyler Smith, and Chris Lindstrom. Centers, Frank Ragnow, Cam Jurgens. Defensive end, we got Bosa, Parsons, Rashawn Gary. Nick Bosa, by the way. Interior defensive alignment, Jalen Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Vita Vea. Shout out Dexter Lawrence. Outside linebackers, Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Dinkel. And Jared Verse, the rookie out of Los Angeles. Inside linebackers, Zach Baum and Fred Warner. And cornerbacks, we have Jalen Johnson, Byron Murphy, J.C. Horn, Devin Witherspoon. Former New York Giant Xavier McKinney is a free safety. Strong safeties, Brian Branch and Buda Baker. Long snapper, Andrew Del Poila.
There's two former Giants on this team. That's funny.
Who's the other one?
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
These guys love getting rid of talent, don't you?
Yeah, we do, apparently. Jack Fox is the punter out of Detroit. Place kicker, Brandon Aubrey. Return specialist, Kevontae Turpin. And then special teamer, Kodridge Hodge out of the Atlanta Falcons. So we actually have 4 Cowboys on the Pro Bowl roster. There it is. That is your Pro Bowl rosters. Shout out to Tyler Smith, Micah Parsons, and Brandon Aubrey and Kevontae Turpin. And then shout out to Dexter Lawrence for making it for the New York Giants.
He'll be gone soon.
Well, he had an extension last year.
Well, they're probably
very happy for the Broncos that made the Pro Bowl, as we won't be making the playoffs. You don't know that, Adelia. The Chiefs are resting everybody, so you could beat them.
Yeah, the Broncos are probably making the playoffs.
Yeah. Ferris, play me in Madden. I can't Alex right now. I can't play in Madden. My internet situation on the game is a little messed up. I have to fix it.
How do you not have internet on your game? You have internet right now.
I know, but trust me, dog. It's weird. I tried like 3 different ways. It's weird. I think they're blocking.
Plug it into the internet.
It's not here. It's Wi-Fi, dog.
Well, plug it in directly.
Weird. I don't know where it is. It's not here.
Into the modem.
What? There's no modem.
The Wi-Fi, where the Wi-Fi comes out of. Where does the Wi-Fi come out of?
I don't know, man. I'm in a motel. I don't know. So, nah, bro, I don't duck the smoke. I never duck the smoke. I get my ass. You know, I've gotten beat down in games. A
Yeah,
lot.
you made a simulate our game.
Yeah, and you won.
You won.
I won?
Yeah. Well, of
Hey.
course. Why would you think you have the better team? Of course, you're in a simulation. You're gonna win.
What time I meant? So I lost the buck?
How did you lose? What are you talking about?
No, because I had to sim the game with Bucks.
No, you simulated my game.
No, I also simulated the one against Buck. We were in the title game,
On what title game?
the Big 12 championship.
So you won.
I did?
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have been in the playoff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit. You're
Yeah.
winning,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't be allowed to win. You should forfeit these games.
Yeah.
You should be forfeiting these games.
Ooh. I'll find the internet. I'll find the internet. I'll find it.
Well, it's too late now. I already lost. This is garbage.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Ah! You know what's funny too, Caleb? I'm the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So guess what?
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
That's for me. Go to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Choo, bang, bang. Caleb, where can people find you, my man?
Find me at NFLGale22 on Instagram and Twitter /X. Find me on this channel right here, doing betting the NFL on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. When all we do is win you guys money. We're getting into the playoff betting, and I do really well during the playoffs. I've hit on every bet I've had in the Super Bowl, so definitely gonna watch the Super Bowl episode because I've been perfect. Hit 15 for 15 in the last 3 Super Bowls.
All right, guys. My name is Ferris Milano. You can find me at Ferris Milano on Twitter. I'm also on Blue Sky at ferrismilano.bluesky. Whatever that thing is called. There's that. On that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful time. And once again,
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
the Oklahoma State Cowboys, not the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I had to say.
You're cheating. You're cheating.
Yeah.
You're a cheater.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, baby.
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?